Hey guys, welcome to Debating with the Boys. I'm Alan.
I'm Luke, and today we're going to discuss bands changing their sound. Bit of a broad topic, I think.
Yeah, but it has been happening a lot recently.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of this year's biggest releases, bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Fall Out Boy, and even like down to like levels like your Citizens, your Turnovers. They've all undergone like a change and evolution in the sound, really.
Yeah, a massive one is Bring Me the Horizon, though. They've completely turned around on what they sound like. It's like they used to be like this metalcore band back in the day. It was
I remember
Soup was made for.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder's Eyes Only.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them like really early on in their career in like a really shitty gig in like Neath or Swansea or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just full of like massive swept fringes and like camo shorts and stuff, and it was like Ollie Sykes' delivery was quite visceral back then.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess so. Yeah.
And
they evolved, didn't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a natural evolution at times. But like if you've heard if you listen to like the EP that Alan was on about, and like you go to listen to now That's the Spirit, their new album which came out last month, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
It's such a different. It doesn't seem.
No, it's like they're completely it sounds like a pop band now. In a way.
Definitely.
It's like a heavy pop band.
Yeah, definitely. I think like the jokes be made about like Linkin Park want their B-sides back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is what it sounds like. It almost is like a new metal record.
Yeah.
And it is divided opinion.
Yeah, some people love it. I personally do not like it at all.
Yeah,
but,
I am not a fan. I mean, they're much more talented musicians than I am, so I'm in no position to speak there.
All these he was like, "Oh, I don't want to scream anymore," or something.
Like a lot of the influences being talked about, like the influence of Jordan Fish. Now Jordan is their synth operator, I guess you call it. Pianist, synth operator,
DJ, I guess.
Sample master.
Sample master.
Who came into during the writing process of Sempiternal after the band dispensed with the services of Jonah Weinhofen, who was there for There Is a Hell, Believe Me I've Seen It, etc, etc, etc.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was their best album. I thought it had a perfect blend of sample, screaming, heavy parts, whilst still being accessible to new fans. I mean, Blessed with the Curses on Radio 1, I think that's...
Yeah, There Is a Hell was like when they started getting a lot of like radio play in the daytime on it. And
now it almost seems like that has influenced this album by getting John Fish in and dispensing with Jonah's second guitar work. It's almost gone to that poppy stage, and I think Fish is the main songwriter now.
I'm not sure.
But
it's extremely commercial.
Yeah, it's very commercial, and like tied to that is I suppose like Fall Out Boy as well.
Yeah.
Especially on the last time American Beauty, American Psycho,
where it's just 100% going for the mass consumer market, isn't it?
The radio plays, the film music videos that are left on MTV.
It's just like if you compare that with like their old stuff where they literally were just like a pop punk band, and now it's just.
I couldn't hear an instrument. I could not hear an instrument on that record.
Yeah.
I think I heard drums.
Well, after they saw it a bit on their last record as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Save Rock and Roll.
Yeah, but at the same time, didn't they release? It was like a little bit after they released
Oh, Pac Sam Days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fall Out Boy went in the studio with Ryan Adams, it was.
Yeah.
And they released this like punk record.
Because clearly they still have they still enjoy punk and stuff, or maybe they just Fall Out Boy is like a job.
It's certainly a money maker. I certainly think like you look at what Andy the drummer and Joe the guitarist did when they went to Terrible Things.
Yeah.
Was it like the guy from Anthrax? Was Keith Buckley was in it? I think was he?
Not sure.
That super group. I think it was Terrible Things or Horrid Things, or something like that. That's like a fun metal band, and Fall Out Boy. Two members of Fall Out Boy are in it.
Yeah. Like other bands that have like changed their sound recently is like State Champs a little bit.
Very commercial again.
Yeah, it's like if you like their original stuff is like completely a bit more punky, like a little bit more like old school pop punk, and then like they brought out the EP, the Overslept EP,
yeah,
and it was all critical and sounds like that, and it was just I thought it was absolutely amazing. That's when I started getting into them, and I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I heard Elevated,
it was very like it was a bit like lighter than the story so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard Elevated. I think somebody posted on Facebook or something like that saying this is the biggest chorus since like Quicksand. I was just like, all right, I gotta check this out, and
then
that blew me away. And then
obviously they brought the album out, and then they brought out the new album, Around the World and Back.
Around the World and Back. Yeah,
and the new one is a bit. It's a bit more poppy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think there's an influence. I think it's producer wise, but also like friendship circle wise. Because I follow the guys on Instagram, and I've noticed they start hanging out with 5 Seconds of Summer a lot more. All Time Low as well. And
it just sounds a bit more All Time Low, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like the good friends of the producer, John Feldman.
All right.
Used to be in Goldfinger. I think he started like the Used records and stuff, but he is 5 Seconds of Summer's producer.
Yeah.
And obviously there's this big pop rock band from Australia blowing up the world. You know, apparently State Champs are 5 Seconds of Summer's favourite band, so you know, you can clearly see the commercial side of it for them.
Like, what do you think of like them actually changing their sound though?
I honestly, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people are going to throw around the term selling out.
Yeah.
You know, like some old punk band that didn't want to, you know.
I think it's just like, to me, it's like, if you like a band, it's really annoying when they do change their sound as like a fan. But like, because 9 times out of 10, it's always not what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like, there's always that like 2% that can change their sound, and they're gonna sound good anyway. You got, like bands like Brand New,
Thrice I'd throw in there.
Yeah.
Deftones as well. You know,
it's
not a seismic shift in their sound, but
it's all like out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit weird and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like it's not just big bands that change their sound. I mean, like we touched upon earlier, like New Citizen, Turnover, Title Fight Records.
I'm not a fan of those either.
Yeah.
Just sounds like I'm saying I hate everything.
Yeah, just hate change. Like,
change is not.
No, change is not for me.
But it's like, I don't know. They're all going really like
melancholy.
Melancholy, yeah. And I'm just not a fan of that sound. Like, I loved it when they were all doing like the emo sound.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that. But the whole melancholy thing, I'm just not part of that. You know.
I kind of get it in a way, because I kind of get you know, you evolve and you grow and stuff, but like at the same time, it's like they've all done it.
I think like there's a bit more success to it when you're already an established successful band.
Yeah.
Whereas if you compare it to like bands like Citizen and Turnover that are like fairly successful within their own circles, but at the end of the day they're just
they're rising bands. They're bands on the rise, you know.
And it's like, I don't think they'll quite have the same success that big bands will, changing their sound quite this drastic.
Yeah. I think with big bands you get a lot of people, especially younger fans, no offense to you guys, but who will eat up anything.
Yeah.
You know, the guys that still idolise the band members.
Yeah.
And the look or whatever. You know, it's great. Yeah. Good. You know, get into music, love music. This is what we did when we were younger.
Pretty much, yeah. I spent all my pocket money on CDs and HMV, like.
Oh, like when I was younger, when I was younger, there were some bands who could fart into a microphone, and I'd be like, "Take my money, have it. This is the best thing ever."
I wasn't quite like that, but yeah.
Yeah, hottest record in the world.
But yeah, so like, but then there's been, you know, there's always going to be bands that like consistently stay exactly the same.
Yeah. You know? It is that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
because they know they'll like consistently sell out the gigs, and just like people will buy their music because of the sound.
Like, for example, like Story So Far album that came out this year. Like,
it's consistently the same music.
Yeah, this is an album. This is an album I wanted to change. This is an album I wanted to hear that evolution, and all I heard was better production. I heard the same songs, but just cleaner.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because the Story So Far peaked too early.
Yeah, I think possibly. I mean, there's numbers of reasons. There's a lot of reasons bands change their sound.
Yeah.
Whereas member changes, whether it's just growing up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like Blink, brilliant example.
Yeah.
You know, these are guys who are. I think Travis is the youngest at like 39. If you talk original lineup, Travis Barker's the youngest at 39. Mark Hoppus is 43. And do you think Mark Hoppus still wants to sing "I fucked a dog in the ass"?
Definitely not.
He's a dad now. So it is natural in some cases. Again, we've seen bands like Hawthorne Heights where tragically they lost a member who died. The Screamer, in fact, and they vowed then never to put a scream in a song again because they didn't want to replace him with somebody else. They were just going to continue on anyway.
Hawthorne Heights were like a 2 single band to me though.
I love that.
Highways for Lovers and Nicky FM.
I loved that one. I loved that one album, and then the second album was kind of got 1 or 2 songs on the other. Okay,
they just went a band for me.
You should see them these days. They look like librarians, like the world's coolest librarians.
Really?
They've got sleeves, but they still look really nice and well done, kind of thing. JT's just there hey there, but really smart.
Christ.
I just imagine him renting me out a copy of Great Expectations, but then going over to the Spotify in the library and putting on Jawbreaker.
Yeah. Well,
that was a tangent.
A little bit, but yeah. What do you guys think about bands changing their sound and stuff? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
Would you rather bands be Terror and release
the same album
6 times? Do you want them to be brand new where it's a different album every time, or do you want just to see the Wonder Years, for example, a natural progression, a growing up almost?
Yeah.
As you go along. Let us know in the comments.
Like and subscribe,
and we'll catch you guys soon.
Thanks.
Cheers.